We've seen Max Estates about 4 or 5 days ago come in and speak about some very strong growth numbers for FY25 or FY24. Rishi Raj, CEO of the company, joins in to talk about this and some very interesting transactions that they've done with their anchor investor, New York Life as well. Rishi, great having you. Thanks for taking the time out. Just wanted some clarity around the sales volumes that you talk about versus the reported numbers as they come on the exchanges, because those look, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect between what you portray in your presentation in terms of sales volumes and the reported numbers. So can you just tell us how has FY24 as a year been in terms of reported numbers and what is the way ahead?
Thank you, Neeraj. So when you look at any real estate company, particularly a company like Max Estate, which has been in the business for last 6 to 8 years, reported numbers may not tell you the entire story. But starting with the reported numbers, if I look at the top line for FY24, if I look at pure rental income, FY24 was at 68 crores. And that number is expected to go up to 120 crores as far as annuity rental income is concerned, which will continue to grow from here. But I think the key is when you look at the residential side of the business, FY24 really marked our entry in residential in Delhi NCR. We successfully launched our first residential estate 128 in Noida, where we made a booking of 1,800 crores at unprecedented price of 18,000 rupees per square foot. Now, these numbers will be translated into P&L only at the time of the possession, which is 4 years later. So you may not see this yet in the top line, but this clearly is reflected in your cash flow for the company basis the payment plan and collection of the company.
So Rishi, tell us what is the plan for the next 3 years, let's say, because one way to look at it is that 3 years out, the numbers will look very large, but what happens until then? Because like you said, I mean, when I look at the guidance that you've given in terms of sales booking, you've guided to 4,000 crores in FY25 versus 1,800 crores. But for an average viewer, they see a PBT loss and they're trying to figure out, in Q4 that is, and they're trying to figure out what is it that the company actually will do and how will it show in terms of reported numbers as well? How would the company get valued? So give us some guidance there.
Right. So let me divide the response in 3 parts, Neeraj. First of all, just to educate all your investors and the audience, Max Estates today has a portfolio of 12 million square foot. Just to double click, 4 to 4.5 million square foot is commercial real estate, of which around 2 million is delivered and rest is under construction between Noida and Gurgaon. If I just stay at commercial real estate portfolio, in FY25, we will see a rental income of 125 to 125 crores, which will be reflected. And I'm just talking about rental income and not other ancillary incomes, which will be reflected in the accounting P&L. And this, as our assets reach peak occupancy and as our under construction asset gets operational in next 3 to 5 years, this annuity rental income will grow to 450 to 500 crores. So that's one journey for your viewers to understand. The second part of the story is our residential portfolio. Today, of 12 million square foot, our residential portfolio is 7.5 million square foot. Let me just double click that for further clarity. Of that, 1 million square foot was our residential portfolio, Estate 128, which we successfully launched in Noida last year. That's where we booked 1,800 crores. This will get reflected in the P&L 4 years later once we deliver possession. What is going to come, as you asked me, next couple of years, we are going to launch our second residential, which is Estate 360, in Gurugram, in Sector 36A on Dwarka Expressway, which is first intergenerational product of Delhi NCR. That has a potential of booking value of 4,000 crores. That is what we have guided that we will see in FY25. Having said that, real estate being a portfolio of projects, What is also important for the viewers to note is that we have built a very healthy pipeline to continue the launch in FY26 and FY27. This is at the back of what you mentioned at the start of your program. We announced an acquisition of another 18 acres in Gurugram in Sector 36A under a joint development model, which will give us another 4 million square foot, which has a gross development value potential of 9,000 crore, which will be launched in FY26 and FY27. So in summary, if I summarize for your viewers, our rental income is going to grow from 120 crores to 450 to 500 crore based on existing portfolio, a booking value from 1800 to 4,000 crore, and then we will see we already have a pipeline of another 9,000 crore for FY26 and 27. And what we have also shared with the market is that our aspiration, and a calibrated aspiration, is to continue to add 2 million square foot in a residential portfolio every year and 1 million square foot in a commercial portfolio every year, which is yet not reflected in the numbers that I'm talking about.
Right. Just to quickly wrap that out, Rishi, this is going to be in the form of a joint development. What is the share that you have in this JD for Project 360?
So the one that we are going to launch in July, which is on 11.8 acres, which was our first joint development deal in Gurugram. There, the share between it's a revenue share model between landowner and us. We have 2/3 share, and landowner has got 1/3 share.
Let's move on from that and get an understanding of what lease rentals look like and what is the kind of revenue you're picking up from lease rentals. Your total lease area is close to 0.9 million square feet odd. What is the rental lease then? Going into FY25, what should the street be factoring in terms of lease rentals? And secondly, help me understand this on the commercial piece. This is in partnership as well, right?
Yes.
So break out the rentals expected in FY25 and this agreement with the partner that you have. What are the plans going ahead? Could we be expecting more sort of strategic moves on the commercial piece?
Absolutely. So you're right. We have got close to 1 million square foot already operational on a 100% basis. In FY24, our P&L reflected just the rental part of the top line at 65 crores. That is going to increase to 120 to 125 crores based on 3 operational assets: Max Towers, Max House, and Max Square Phase 1 on Noida Greater Noida Expressway. This portfolio at 100% occupancy has a total potential of 145 to 155 crores. That's number one. Number two, we also have 2 commercial office assets, which we are calling as Max Square 2 on Noida Greater Noida Expressway with 1 million square foot of development potential, and another one, which is our first one in Gurgaon on Golf Course Extension, 7 acres, 1.6 million square foot. As we speak, we have started the construction, and in 3 to 5 years, that annuity rental income top line, when added to the current portfolio, will translate into 450 to 500 crores, which I mentioned earlier. Please note, this does not include additional commercial office that we will add to our portfolio subsequently in coming years. Coming to the second part of your question in terms of partnership, we're really delighted and proud to have New York Life as a long-term standing partner in real estate. New York Life is not only a shareholder in the listco at 23%, but now they are our commercial office platform partner, owning 49% of individual assets, both greenfield that is under development. And if you recall, we recently announced a few weeks back, New York Life has further committed 388 crores to acquire 49% in our operational rent-yielding Grade A plus asset, Max Towers and Max House. So that is the partnership with New York Life, which is a great reaffirmation of 2 things. It's important for your audience to know. Number one, it clearly shows our ability to churn the capital full cycle, investment to exit, and second, it shows a great confidence of New York Life in our ability to
Rishi,
deliver.
just very quickly, of course, it's great that you've got New York Life and that is a stamp of approval. But why not? I mean, is this even on the cards with, of course, MSME REITs now becoming a reality in India? Would you consider fundraising or getting in commercial partners to the REIT route?
So, not yet. Our focus right now is to scale annuity portfolio. As I said, today our portfolio is 4.4 to 4.5 million square foot, which we would like to consolidate and scale. And of course, at some point in time in future, we will evaluate multiple exit routes that will be available to us, and potential REIT could be one of them. But that is not the focus at this point in time.
Right, that is not the focus currently. But thank you very much for joining in, Rishi, and good luck with business going ahead. This is, of course, great news coming in for the company.